What's up, guys? Syph with TGN bringing you another one-on-one counter in Star Wars: The Old Republic. This week we're going to be facing Bounty Hunter versus Bounty Hunter. A lot of you may think you already know, how to counter a Bounty Hunter, but there's a couple of little key things that I've been really noticing that have been really giving me an advantage to fighting other Bounty Hunters. First off, you have Arsenal versus Arsenal, Pyro versus Arsenal, and Pyro versus Pyro. You're going to find that the only difference in the 2 or 3 setups that you'll run across is kiting. Pyro really can kite a lot and get away from you. It requires a little bit different fighting style to counter them, and we're going to talk about 3 abilities that you're going to be wanting to watch for as Arsenal versus Pyro is what I'm going to talk about first. There's 3 key abilities. Of course, when you're in any kind of one-on-one counter, you want to go all out. So you want to use your power relic, you want to use your adrenal, you want to use your heal over time and your shields at the very beginning. You want to have, all your burst ready. You want to be as most defensive as you can right off the start. You want to negate basically their first couple hits with your heal over time. But pretty much that's the same every time you're countering another class. There's a few circumstances where you wouldn't use your heal over time, but for this circumstance we are. So the key 3 abilities you're going to be facing Arsenal versus Pyro, I'll get into the other setups in a minute, is Cure. It's a 5-second cooldown, but you still have to be wise with this. You have the combustible cylinder dot, which is this dot here. It kind of resembles this buff icon. You also have the incendiary missile. Those are 2 major dots. You'll see in the dueling footage of him getting both of them on me. You need to save your cure until both dots are on you. I know you're saying it's a 5-second cooldown, it's not going to hurt me that much, but 2 or 3 seconds of having that dot on you could give the advantage to him in the duel. So that's one main thing to watch for, is to make sure you don't waste your cure only on 1 dot. Make sure you get both of them. The other thing is jet boost. If the Pyro, you'll see in the video, he's not able to kite me. We're dueling in a ship, but if say it was a hut ball situation or Alderaan, because in the next patch or the next couple patches we'll be able to fight Imperial versus Imperial in the different circumstances. So if it's in a different setting other than a dueling atmosphere, they will be able to kite you a lot more effective. And one thing you want to do is hit them with jet boost. Run in at the beginning of the fight. I didn't do it in this duel because we're dueling in a ship, there was no need, but if you're in an open environment, hit them with this. It throws them out there, they're snared, they're out of range to interrupt you with any of their knockbacks, and you can get 3 or 4 cast, a heat seeker, unload proc, and a rail shot, and they're pretty much done. It really only takes under 10 seconds to kill somebody as an Arsenal bounty hunter. So really you're just throwing them out there, getting them snared so they can't kite you, and nuking them down extremely fast. The other thing to watch for when you're encountering this is try to wait for a stun. Like, you have to time this very well. If you've already used your jet boost and he's kiting around a corner, of course stun him. That's a must. But if you're just in a straight up nuke battle, try and wait till he stuns you first. If the rule of thumb is really, if you're above 50% health, don't use your stun. So if he stuns you, get out of the stun, of course, and then stun him right back. And this is going to throw his whole rhythm off and kind of jumble his rotation up. But if he's below 50%, go ahead and use your stun, go for the kill, try and finish him off. Because really, you're going to get at least 2 seconds of the stun off, even if he gets out of it, and that's enough for a good tracer missile hit. So that's the 3 abilities to watch for: jet boost, your stun, and your cure for Arsenal versus Pyro. As far as Pyro versus Pyro, there's a couple of things you need to watch for is to avoid kiting. You want to use your jet boost and your stun on them almost immediately. You want to get your dots up. You want to throw them back, get all your dots on them, get all your rotation on them, and use your electro dart. Of course, if it's a good bounty hunter, he's going to cure and the process will start over. But if you stack these 2 abilities at the beginning of the duel, it's going to help you have the advantage with your dots getting them on the target. and you're both not going to be able to kite because you're both snared. So that really covers pyro versus pyro. You're basically going all out. You're using all your defenses, all your offenses. You're using your shields. You're using everything right at the start. You're blowing him back. You're stunning him because you want the advantage with the dots ticking. Now that's different than the arsenal versus pyro. You have a little bit more strategy with the the casting and whatnot. But far as them being arsenal and you being pyro, you have a couple of things to watch for. You definitely, it's kind of the reverse order. It's kind of ironic how it works, but you want to get as closest to them as possible if you're pyro and they're arsenal. You want to be in closest that you can do your knockbacks. You want to interrupt their cast. You want to get their dots rolling. You also have to expect he's waiting for you to stun, get that stun off. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to time your rail shot and your stun. Of course, you want to wait till he gets about 50% because he's going to, he's going to try and save his stun because he's trying to, throw you off. So you're going to want to stun him at under 50%, get your rail shots and your big nukes and a thermal. So you're kind of setting up a kill. You're saving your thermal and rail shot. You stun him at 50%, thermal detonator, rail shot, and he's done. So it's a little bit tricky, a little bit different, but I hope this helps, with you figuring out how to counter, yourself, basically. I mean, you just got to outsmart the other bounty hunter. And you basically have the same rotation if you're Arsenal versus Arsenal. Arsenal versus Arsenal is just a nuke fest. I'm not really going to go into that. It comes down to the same thing, though, jet boost and your stun. So really, like I was saying, there's really these only 3 abilities that these countering another bounty hunter really revolves around. Because you're both going to use all your offenses, you're both going to use all your defenses. And you'll see in the duels how it works. If you're in a tight area, Arsenal's definitely going to blow up pyro 99% of the time. They don't stand a chance because they can't kite you. In the real world, we're going to say it's totally different. It's a little bit different to set up. So really just watch for those 3 abilities and you should have no problem countering another bounty hunter. You just have to outplay them, outthink them with these 3 abilities and then go through your regular rotation. Next week we're going to be looking at a rebel class probably, trying to set up some duels on the other side so we can even this out a little bit. And then we'll come back to the Empire side and finish up the series. We've done 3 weeks now, so we have 3 more weeks left on the Empire and 6 weeks left on the Republic. So if you are not already a subscriber, you can subscribe and I'll have those videos out on a weekly basis. If not, like and favorite the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later.